Hello, welcome to Foraging for Balance. I'm Jackie, and today I will guide you through an hour-long yin practice where we'll be doing 3-minute holds. Most of it will focus on hip openers, but there will be some other moves that don't quite fit that category. You're going to need your mat, and I also suggest grabbing some bolsters, blankets, or maybe even blocks to help prop you up during our practice. All right, so grab whatever you need and then meet me on your mat. All right, ready to go? Let's start out. I invite you to close your eyes. We're just going to settle in for our practice, letting go of all the hustle and bustle of our day-to-day lives. I'd like you to take a quick inventory, noticing how you feel head to toe. If there's any areas of tension or soreness that might need a little extra care today, just take note of those. Check in with yourself mentally as well. It's okay if you're not feeling super chipper, happy, right? We have all different moods in life. Just want you to notice wherever you're at. Let's take a few more deep breaths here. Beautiful. From here, I want you to extend both legs long toward the short edge of your mat. Now please note there's going to be a lot of quiet time in yin, and I just want you to sit with it and try to be comfortable. Keep your focus on your body if you can, all right? So sitting in our long-legged position, we're going to fold it forward, reaching for your toes. Know that if you like, you can stack up some blankets or bolsters here to give you something to lay on as we're folding forward. You don't have to use them, but you can. It's your practice, so do you. All right, feeling muscles lengthening. Notice where you feel those feelings, okay? Remember to keep breathing. I know that's kind of a given for life, but check in with your breathing once in a while and make sure it doesn't feel overly constricted or we're not getting maybe too stressed and breathing really fast. Okay, you want to feel a gentle stretch. If it feels too intense, you can always back off. Or if after you sit here a while, you're like, I don't really feel anything anymore, feel free to head a little deeper into the pose. Okay, we're about halfway through this posture. You're doing great so far. more big breath here. And next inhale, let's come on up. From here, we're going to head into shoelace. We're going to do it kind of an interesting way, I think. I want you to bring your left heel, bend your legs so your left heel can come to your right butt cheek. Okay, for some of us, we might stay here. This might be enough. Otherwise, shift your weight slightly to the right so you can bend that left leg and bring your left heel or your right heel to your left hip. Okay. Get left and rights eventually. Your goal is to kind of get your knees stacked up. If they're not, don't worry. It's okay if you're kind of a little off kilter. Like I said, if this is too intense, you can always straighten that bottom leg back out. If your knees happen to be super stacked and you want to, you can lean forward over them. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. I always love the technique of when you inhale, you imagine your breath going to the area of tension and then exhaling that tension out. I find that really helpful for me. So try it out, see if that is a helpful technique for you to keep yourself grounded in your body right now. And feel free to take a hand position of choosing. Really, we're focusing on the lower body here. I like to hold on to my feet just to keep them warm and maybe give them a massage. But that's optional. You could rest your hands in your lap, heart center. If you want to add more upper body, you could take them behind your back and do some reverse prayer. All right, let's take, if one leg's extended, extend both legs, go back to start, and then switch which leg's on top. If you're in this position with me, we're going to do a little magic yoga trick. Bring both hands over to the right side of your mat. Press into the mat, lifting your hips, rolling your feet onto the balls of your feet. Walk your hands all the way around the back till you come to the front again, and you'll find yourself in our shoelace position with the opposite leg on top. All right. This side may feel a lot different than the first side, so it's okay if you need to straighten a leg on one side but not on the other. So listen to your body and feel that out, okay? All right, doing great. We're about halfway through this side now. Check your upper body. Is it in a conducive position? Maybe not slumping forward. I noticed I was doing that a little bit. So if you're slumping forward, maybe roll the shoulders back. All right, let's come on out of this. So if you're in the full position, let's sit to the left so we can straighten out that left leg and back on our bum. And then everybody, let's straighten that right leg out. Maybe shake out your legs a little bit. All right, and we're gonna bend our knees and let's windshield wiper our legs from side to side. Now, if you're facing the short edge of your mat, let's all rotate to face the long edge of our mat. So you can stop the windshield wipering and face this long edge of our mat. All right, and then I want you to extend your right leg long, move some props out of the way, and out at about a 45-degree angle, okay? Bend your left leg. It's just gonna come somewhere in the center toward your right leg. Doesn't really matter a whole lot where. The important part here is this right leg. If you're really tight and your knee is bent, that's okay. And if that's the case, you may even want to grab a blanket or a round bolster and give it a little support, okay? Then turn and face your right leg. And we're gonna fold forward over that right leg. Hands can rest on the leg, on the floor, whatever is comfortable for you here. Remember to use that trick of breathing into areas of tension if that works for you. All right, a few more big deep breaths here. On your next inhale, let's bring the torso up. Unrotate so you're facing straight up the middle. Now we're going to fold up the middle. Again, if you need any support here, grab your supports to make it easier to fold. Bring that floor up to you to the level you need. Try to find the ease here. We just want to push ourselves a little bit, right? Just to the edge. We want to make ourselves work. Find that length. But then don't push yourself over the edge, right? And that applies to life too. Push yourself so you get things done, but don't push yourself so far that you're burnt out, miserable. We're about halfway. How are you doing sitting with those long stretches of silence? Right, next inhale, bring your torso back up. If you have props, let's move them a little way away from us so we can switch. So we're going to bend that right leg in, extend that left leg out about 45 degrees. Turn to face your left leg and fold forward toward that left leg. Arms resting wherever's comfortable. way through this side. Let's inhale, bring the torso up, and we're going to look right at the middle and fold it forward. Again, grab any of those props that you like if you need to, so that you're not pushing yourself too far in this middle stretch. Right? Gentle. We want to be gentle with ourselves. On your next inhale, let's bring the torso up. If you have any props, sit them good and out of the way. We're going to bend the left knee and tilt the right leg up so both feet are flat on the floor. We're going to find that windshield wiper again. Let's find some stillness, and we're going to head to butterfly. So let those knees fall open, soles of your feet together, and come nice and close to you. Now, if you'd like, I'm going to give you some prop options. You can use props to gently support your knees, in case maybe it's just a little too much if they are flopping open on their own. Or you could put props in front of you if you choose to lean forward and want something to rest on, right? So settle in behind your comfort zone. Option to hinge forward if you like. And enjoy your butterfly. come on out. So if you're leaning forward, bring the torso upright. Everybody bring hands under knees. We're going to bring those knees together. Hands can rest on the floor. And windshield wiper. Just nice and slow, side to side. And then we'll find some stillness. From here, let's tip both knees over to the right. Left leg is on top. We're going to pick it up, peel it back. So we're sitting in this zigzaggy pattern, stag seat. And we're going to go into deer pose. So I want you to turn to your right. If you'd like, you can keep your deer up here. Or we can go for a sleeping deer and lay down. Again, my nice pile of cushions. Using any props you need to feel comfortable if you're choosing to lay down. Otherwise, you can stay right up here. Feel free to try both options and decide which your body needs today. The upright version or the taking a nap version. What do you notice in your body in this pose? Take a big inhale and unwind. Let's stack your left leg back on top of the right, and we'll tip both legs up and over to the left now. Right leg's on top. Pick it up, pull it back. Sit up between your legs. And we're going to rotate toward your left. Option to come on down and take a sleeping deer. Notice how one side feels compared to the other side. Do you feel a little tighter on one side? Is there more ease on one side? Doesn't mean anything's good or bad. It just means one side is tighter than the other. Great job. Let's unwind. Stack those knees back up and we'll swish side to side. Okay, from here, we're going to head on to our hands and knees. Because I faced that way before. Let's do that again. So, hands and knees. Exact alignment, not necessary here. We're going to go into swan, or if you're used to other forms of yoga, it would be pigeon. So bring your right knee up toward your right wrist. Then you can rotate your right ankle inward as much as you feel you like to. I really don't rotate in much because it's hard on the knees. Okay, and slide your left hip back. Again, we can keep like our deer, we can keep our pigeons upright, or our swans upright, sorry. Or you can come down onto your stuffs to support your chest. You can also take blankets or bolsters and use them to prop up your hips. Use it under your thigh if you're really uncomfortable or really high up in the air. So you can pop that under there. All right, so get yourself situated. Find your comfort zone, and let's hang out. Our swans will take a little nap for about 3 minutes. Or not a nap, I guess. They don't have to be sleeping, so maybe you have a very alert pigeon. Swan. Not sure why I'm having such a hard time with that today. And if your pigeon, your swan is sleeping, let's press on up. And everyone, slide your left knee forward a bit, and then you can press into the mat, take your right knee back, and we'll switch sides. So let's bring left knee up to left wrist, rotating that ankle in as much or as little as you like. Slide that right hip back. You can stay upright if you're upright for the first side. You can sleep if you were sleeping for the first side. I suggest doing the same thing that you did for your first side, just so that you're even. because they're very different in where you feel it. All right? So let's settle in. Take a little swan time. Notice what you feel in this pose. Notice where you're feeling it. While we like to find stillness in our yin poses, don't be afraid to move if you need to. If you need to make any small adjustments, or even bigger ones, like adding a prop or taking one away, go ahead and do that. Always remember you need to make your practice fit your body, okay? If your swan is sleeping, let's wake it up. And then everyone, I like to tuck my toes, scooch that right knee forward, then bring that left knee back. We're going to find a little time in child's pose. So just sitting hips back toward heels. It's okay if they don't sit right on your heels. You can grab yourself some props if that helps. Just going to take a little break here. Won't be too long. All right, if you have props in front of you, let's slide them off to the side and forward. Come up onto all fours again. We'll walk our hands forward into puppy pose. Just give ourselves a little shoulder stretch. Trying to bring your chest down to the mat. Don't worry if it doesn't reach. Mine doesn't either. Like I said, we're not really going to hold this one. So let's shift forward till your shoulders come over your elbows. Slide the hips back. We're in Sphinx pose. Adjust your clothes if you need to. Oh, puppy pose can really move your shirt around, you know? And then let's lower down to the mat. We're going to do some little half froggies. So half frog, I'm going to bring right knee up and out to the right. Foot straight back from the knee. Move over so we can see that a little better. Perfect. Now, if you need to, you can grab props. You might use it as a little pillow. Or if you want to intensify this, maybe your hips are really open in this direction, you can pop a blanket under your knee, elevates that leg, but you're still pressing into the mat, so it can make it a little more intense. You could also unfold the blanket a bit and just use it as a cushion if maybe your knee is pressing into the floor really harshly and you want to give it a little more love. Okay, we're going to hang out in our little froggies. I like to look in the same direction as my knee is. Hands can do whatever hands like to do here. I like mine as a pillow. But if it feels more natural for you just to lay your head directly on the mat, your arms can rest at your sides. We're more than halfway through this side. It's a very relaxed pose, letting gravity assist the stretch. Body weight and gravity. I also think it's a great wind down because our next pose after this is going to be Shavasana. Okay, ribbit, ribbit. Let's send that right leg back as we put that froggy away, and we'll go find the other froggy. So let's take left knee up and out to the left. Bring your prop over if you used one. You may or may not need it on the opposite side, right? Because one side, as usual, may be tighter than the other. Okay, get yourself all set up. Nice and cozy. Here we go. 3 minutes of splashing in our own private ponds. I don't know why I squeak on my floor. Let's send your left leg back. If you had a prop, let's move it maybe up to the top of your mat because you might want it in a moment. And we're going to head to Shavasana, or you're going to head to Shavasana. I just want you to slowly and carefully roll yourself over. Get centered back on your mat. Find a relaxing position, lying here on your back. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to find any other position you'd like to relax in for the last 5 minutes or so. You can use your blanket if you have one as a pillow. You could roll it up and put it under your knees. So many options. If you're feeling chilly, feel free to toss it over your body. I want you to keep lying back, relaxing. I invite you to close your eyes. I'm going to dim the lights a little and add some music so you know that I'm still here and the video hasn't magically ended and you didn't notice. All right? Hopefully you've settled in a bit. Let's try to release some tension from the body. Every inhale, I want you to imagine your breath sweeping through your body, collecting that tension. And every exhale, taking that tension out with the air. All right, a few more of those tension releasing breaths. Letting go of that tension from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your fingers and toes. Try to find some stillness, both in body and mind, like the surface of a calm pond. Thoughts are likely to enter your mind, and that's completely normal. For now, let those thoughts float away like leaves on the water. If any of those thoughts become really stuck, bring your focus to your breathing. No need to change what it's doing. Just focus on that gentle in and out. All right, we'll spend several minutes here in silence before I guide you back out. I invite you now to make your next breath a little deeper and maybe let it out with a sigh. Start to enliven the body by making small movements, maybe medium-sized movements, like wiggling fingers and toes, all the way up to stretching your arms overhead and a big stretch. Whatever is calling to you right now. When you're ready, bend your knees, bringing your feet flat on the floor. And then roll to one side, pausing to take a few breaths there. We're in no hurry to destroy this calm state of mind. All right, and then slowly press your way up to a comfortable seated position. And today, let's seal our practice by giving ourselves hugs. So take your arms out to the side. Give yourself a big old hug. Thank you. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat today and taking this time to take care of yourself mentally and physically. All right, let's open it back up. Then give yourself one more hug, opposite arm on top. Feeling all warm and fuzzy. Let's bring it open again and bring hands together at heart. Thank you so much for joining me today for this session. May you be well.